a pretty new fund here. You split off from KPCB, and
Sure.
I'm wondering if you can talk a little bit about sort of the challenges a new fund faces in China without sort of an institutional umbrella over you. What you guys are facing right now.
Sure. We're Keytone Ventures. The name sounds very new to most of the audience here. But we are founded with a group of very experienced investors who have worked in prior firms, including some of the very prestigious either US fund or China homegrown VC funds. So over the years, they've built a very good track record, including 5 NASDAQ-listed companies. So they invested in the very early stage and brought them all the way up to IPO stage. So we are very committed to investing in high-tech and clean-tech space in China, mostly in early to growth stage venture company opportunities. It's never easy to start a new venture, but we're committed, and we are very convinced that building a very good brand venture capital firm in China is a very realistic time and a realistic opportunity. So we just decided to group together, build up a new platform, and hope to grow with some successful entrepreneurs.
Certainly a lot of people are looking at coming to China to invest. As a new firm, can you elaborate a little bit more about the challenges that you faced here? I mean, obviously the opportunity is great, but how do you sort of start from ground zero and build up your funds and move forward?
Sure. VC investing in China is very different from that in US or anywhere in the world. China is a huge market and it's emerging, which means good and bad. Good, there's so many opportunities. Anyone who can think of an idea could just go ahead start his own adventure. The bad side, or not necessarily very mature side, is there's the talent pool is in serious shortage, and there's so many different aspects you have to worry about once you want to start a new idea, which is very different from that in the US. US coming up with a very innovative idea is very difficult because everything you can think of has been thought of or done by someone else. So coming up with a brilliant idea is very, very difficult. While in China, it's the execution that's more meaningful and valuable. So when we look at new entrepreneurs, new opportunities, most of the time we spend goes to actually how to help them structure the company organizations, how to scale up the company after they build the first generation product or the first generation application, how to grow in a sustainable way. So those growing problems are more important to most of Chinese entrepreneurs.
So what are some of your strategies in addressing the different differences with entrepreneurs here, helping them grow, sort of helping them develop their business that maybe might be somewhat different than operating in the West? What do you do?
In terms of picking the right investment, we actually decide to do a little bit later than concept stage. Means we have to see a proven product or a proven business model. The team is capable to execute what they want to deliver. On the other hand, once we decide to back the particular company, we want them to be very focused, develop one product, position their market position very clearly and very sustainable before expanding to new business areas. So this is what we constantly advise the company to do.
Before this interview, we were talking a little bit about how in America or in the West versus China, sort of the different stages of investment are slightly different. Early stage maybe has a different definition in China than it does in the West. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. In the U.S., like I said, coming up with an innovative or disruptive idea is very, very rare and difficult. So most of U.S. venture firms would like to back concept stage companies founded with very experienced entrepreneurs or second-time serial entrepreneurs. While in China, we think everyone, including the people in the audience, everyone on the street can think of a lot of different ideas, and they all could work. But we value the actual execution, how scalable their business model is, much more seriously than the idea itself. So in order to validate the team, the concept, we need to see things realistically and in place, which means the product is developed, which means if you're in consumer or media business, you have to be able to generate meaningful revenue before going to the next stage of scale.
So you just flew back from Frankfurt this morning.
Yes.
You guys are working on your second round of fundraising right now. Can you tell us a little bit about the size of your fund here in China, and how many companies you guys have invested in, and what types of companies you're looking at?
Sure. Yes, we closed our first fund in last year. That was our Keytone Ventures #1, and we are in the stage of raising the next fund. Our first fund, the size is $200 million, and we will stick to similar size going forward. Again, we truly value the opportunity of the stage we're focusing in China. We truly believe there's tremendous opportunity around that stage and around tech areas. So we decided to stick to our fund size for our future funds and back innovative and scalable companies. In terms of our portfolio or our investment strategy, focus areas, mostly they are clean tech, consumer, technology or semi and mobile technology, and media, both online or new digital media or traditional media. So those are 4 main areas.
Can you talk about specifically any of the companies that you guys have invested in at this point?
Absolutely.
And why you also invested in them?
I always like to promote our portfolio. So we are very early stage focused in China. One of the areas that's in mobile space. We are very interested in this space. We believe we just enter a new era of mobile communication, which is not just voice, but more and more data applications. And we're seeing more and more universal platforms rather than just Symbian. We see our Nokia friends, rather than just Symbian, we have more and more open, like Android-based operating systems, and so on. So this will open a new platform, equal platform for new developers. So very soon, like Google just launched Android about a year ago. And within this year, or more meaningfully, maybe half a year, their data application on mobile phone based on Android has already caught up to the same level as iPhone and Nokia Symbian. So we see a new trend that a new open platform could bring many new third-party developers to very large scale in a very short period of time. So we are very interested in this space, and we're tracking many companies in this space. One of the companies we decided to invest is also riding the Google Android wave. It's a company called Borks, BORQS. The company executive is also here to talk to everyone here. They are a platform developer working with various carriers based on Google's Android platform. And as well as third-party developers. So just trying to stimulate this whole open mobile system new development.
One thing that I wanted to ask you about, again, sort of domestic versus global funds here, and sort of the advantages that one might have over another. Obviously, government relations are very important, sort of establishing relations with the big players here. Can you talk a little bit, having worked for sort of both sides, how that might be different for a domestic firm and how a foreign fund might approach that?
I think in terms of business model, we really see more and more both returnees and local homegrown grassroots entrepreneurs coming up with very innovative models. But in terms of executing, I think entrepreneurs almost have to speak both languages. By both languages, I mean they can talk to world-class clients, partners, multinational companies in their systematic communication protocol. On the other hand, they can also talk to very traditional mindset people, like some of the government officials, some of very local, could be your business partners or vendors, in their traditional way. So we would like to see entrepreneurs in a very flexible mentality and a very flexible execution. So in the meantime, we also want entrepreneurs to have their very clear strategy and very clear principles when down to day-to-day operations.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think this is a great opportunity to meet everyone and introduce our Keytone Venture Fund. I'd like to talk to many entrepreneurs after this. Thank you.